So in the last update, I gave a potential bullish scenario saying that Bitcoin might have some legs here to potentially get a move to the upside because we were forming a Model 1 accumulation at the low. I said this pre-Labor Day weekend, which, by the way, happy Labor Day to you. Now, that accumulation failed miserably, okay? And by the way, I did update people on Twitter, so I'm going to put my link in the bio for Twitter. But yeah, link in the bio for Twitter. Go follow me there because I can't make videos that fast on YouTube, but I can give quick updates on Twitter, so go follow me on Twitter. One last thing I forgot to say. We're almost at 10K subs, and I never thought I'd be here. I started this channel a year and a half ago, almost, a little bit less. Didn't think I'd be here, so I'm going to do something for 10K. I don't know what yet. I got to figure it out, but whatever I do, I guarantee you this. We're going to engagement farm on Twitter, so make sure you follow my Twitter. Anyways, this failed accumulation, and yes, I'm going to say failed because we kind of went up and then it, you know, looked abysmal here, is a very big problem. Okay, it's a very, very big problem. And we went over this last video, but because that actually served the purpose, there was no reason for Bitcoin to have to come down like it did over the weekend. Now, it was a long weekend, it was weekend volume, and it was rather interesting price action to say the least. I actually think it was abysmal weekend price action, but my point is there was no reason for Bitcoin to fail this accumulation. We should have at least been able to take this internal high, and we were not able to do that. So where do we stand now? Well, that being said, look, this is an objective truth. Bitcoin is looking weak. Despite a 3% move to the upside, still, nothing really has changed. And I wasn't even going to make this video because nothing really has changed. But let's go over it anyway. The answer, guys, is going to lie within structure. Now, there's undeniably liquidity above these highs, which now Bitcoin has taken. Great. There is undeniably liquidity above these highs up at 65, 66K, which Bitcoin failed miserably on its attempt. Fine. But let's go over structure because the answer as to what might happen here will, I believe, result in structure. But before we do that, I just want to say it is now September. Okay. September is historically known as a very bearish month for Bitcoin. And what do I always say, guys? Retail is in. This time is different. Everybody and their mother knows about Bitcoin. And so I think a lot of people are expecting September to be bearish because historically it's bearish. At least that's the narrative that I'm seeing pushed on Twitter and YouTube and everywhere else. But I also don't want to necessarily discredit the idea that it won't start off bullish and then just end up getting absolutely destroyed because everybody thinks it's bearish. It's like the whole psychological thing. If you think it's going to do one thing, then maybe they're going to do the other thing. But because you think they're going to do the other thing, they're going to come and do the other thing. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, just want to say that. So we're going to take this structure that I'm going to go over here in a very objective approach. Your 1 hour time frame structure is as follows: high, low SFP, high, core break, low SFP. This is where I left you in the last video, and I said, guys, if it's going to move, it's going to be now. These are the legs we need. And then it failed. We had high, we had low, and now we have higher high. This higher high currently is unconfirmed. Okay, it is only going to be confirmed if and when we touch this high. So do we make it up to 59441? I don't know. It's $300 away. I don't see why we wouldn't, but are we going to make it there? Couldn't tell you. Is there a chance that we SFP that? Yes, we are. Yes, we do have a chance. And if we SFP that, where can we expect to go? Well, I mean, technically the target will be the low that failed to make a new high. So if you SFP here on the 1 hour time frame, this becomes your target. September is not going to look so good because I really think that on this last attempt up, if they're not able to really start getting up here, you know, coming up towards 60K, probably, I imagine if we do break that high, we're going to get somewhat of a rejection around 60K, come back down and potentially make a higher low here to then send price higher. If we don't see that, it's going to be a red September. Okay, so this line is very, very important right now, but it's not as simple as that because what did I say? September is a very, what they think, or I guess what we think is a very straightforward month in that it's down only. So I imagine that our friends, our good friends that love to steal our money, the market makers, make it very difficult. And this is exactly what they did over the weekend. And the reason why is because your structure is not definitively what you see right now. They are deceiving you. On Binance, we took the low. No, we didn't. On USDT, we took the low. Yes, we did. Binance USDT, we took the low. My phone might die if my camera goes out. My phone died. We took the low, which means what was on Bybit, your higher low on the 1 hour was this. I think it was it. It was this. That looks ugly, but you'll get over it. It was this. On Binance, it's this. Low SFP and then break bullish. Okay? So we're very 50-50 right now. This is very important. Remember that your 4-hour high is way up here and is still untouched, and we flipped the 1 hour time frame back to bearish, which innately led me to believe that, okay, the lower high on the 4-hour time frame is in. Then we flipped back to bullish. Then we faked it out. Then I said we have some legs. Then we started faking out the lows again, and we actually never even closed below this low point. We just SFP'd after SFP. That's why I said there isn't really that much to update. There is a little bit, but they're making it difficult, okay? And this is very important. This is very, very important. They're making it difficult. So if structure is going to be bullish here, our expectational order flow is going to be low SFP, broke bullish, higher low, higher high. Where could that higher low come in my opinion? Right here. Right here. 57.3 to 57.8. You lose 57.3, which, yes, I understand is very close to the low. You're just going to go lower. We have this little bit of liquidity here, and we got to be watching for it. Now, Gio, how do we know if and when that's going to happen, and how high can it go? Because we have this liquidity, and this is your 1 hour point on the Bybit. You're correct, right? Let's come back on the Bybit chart. We're sticking to our narrative. If the SFP, if we get an SFP at 59446 on Bybit USD, you get an SFP here, then I favor this chart where we didn't come and sweep the low again, and this is your high, and we're going to come back down for the low. However, if we break above here and we start closing above here, then I favor the Binance chart and the Coinbase chart, because Coinbase took the low as well. That's the update, guys. There's nothing else. I think that, you know, even despite this 3-minute or 3% bullish rally, I still think at this moment in time right now, people are a little bit too bullish. I don't think we're back. I do think that this had potential to be a significant low, which is why I made that last video. But I don't think we're out of the woods yet. And like I said, our friends, the market makers, are making it very, very difficult by not giving us consistent structure across the board. Okay. And so, I mean, look, we know this. Right now, I can't help but see dead liquidity staring at me in the eye. Yeah, we have liquidity above, but we swept a good amount of it already. But now we have liquidity to the low. So, you know, I believe it's our job now to watch 15-minute structure. The interesting thing about 15-minute structure, though, is it is also not very clean, okay? So 15-minute structure, at some point, I'm going to skip some points that don't matter, but we had high, we had low, we had high, we had low, and then because we didn't SFP here, so same story as the 1 hour, we had high. Now, the problem with this high is we have low, we have high, we have low, we have high. The problem here, and I'm going to tell you the problem right now. The problem is that every 15-minute high currently is SFPing, okay? And if you want to have a clean break, right? You want to have conviction, especially in a zone where we're very 50-50 on. Sorry, not if you want to have a clean break. You want to have a clean break, okay? We want to see clean conviction. We want to see... I don't want to be questioning market structure, especially not 1 hour structure. That should be clear as day. I don't want to have to be questioning it. So if you're getting 15-minute SFP and then this is like barely a break, okay, barely a break, you know, you got to ask yourself, even the internal 1 hour structure or internal 2 hour structure, like you got to ask yourself, why did we take this high yet we're already starting to range? Okay, it's not the most convincing bit of price action here, especially after it did a decent job of sweeping liquidity. And mind you, it swept the ugly high that we put over our Labor Day weekend. So we're like, why are we already stopping here, right? And so look at the wicks that we're seeing here on the 1 hour time frame. And like I said, we're essentially waiting to see if we're going to get a 1 hour SFP of this high. If you get a 1 hour SFP of this high and you yet fail to close above the previous highs, things are not bullish, guys. Things are probably more likely going to turn than not going to turn if that scenario plays out. However, once again, like I said, if you do end up breaking out maybe towards 60.5, and then you get a nice pullback, I'm more inclined to believe that we'll have a significant low, maybe ride it up to 62, 65 potentially, and then we'll discuss when we get there. But until that happens, things are not as bullish as they may seem, despite the market being up 3%. Ethereum's up 5%. Oh, did somebody say Ethereum? Guys, what do I always say? Bitcoin and ETH what? Bitcoin and Ethereum work in tandem. Now, Ethereum did take its high and is kind of closing above its high. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not like it's not a significant break. However, if you're following Ethereum's structure, which I'm not going to go too in depth over, we don't need to. You didn't break this high and you're already starting to range above or below this high now. So you have an SFP of that high, which is not the cleanest sign that you want to see, especially while you're waiting to see if Bitcoin is going to have a breakout. And oh, where did Ethereum reject from? A 2-hour order or 1-hour order block. So once again, Bitcoin and Ethereum work in tandem. You guys want to know a solid indicator for Bitcoin? Ethereum, they work in tandem. Why is it that it's already starting to fail here? Why is it not breaking out really? Now, it can change, right? My idea is like our job is to react to the price action, okay? Not predict. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know. Ethereum could just exactly right now, the 2542 be the lowest point and then bang. We never see this again and it goes to 10 million. Could happen. I don't know. But why are we already SFPing? Why are we already ranging? So here's how I'm going to play it. I'm watching Bitcoin. I'm watching Ethereum. I'm watching any local ranges that they give me. This is a 5-minute, 2-minute, 3-minute range that we have going on here. If they show me signs of distribution up here, especially if we SFP this high, I'm going to be looking for shorts if I see proper follow through and proper confirmation. And that goes the same with Ethereum, because Ethereum's range right now, currently, you could debate it, is this, and then you bring it up. So this is Ethereum's current local range. And this could be your 1-tap, 2-tap. You could get a 3-tap here, right, for a distribution. Or you could break this low, come back down, hit that lower high, and then down you go. Okay? So I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. It's not my job to predict what's going to happen. I used to try to predict it on this channel, and you know, people started calling me perma-bear. But I don't do that. I just react, and I just have a good understanding of what structure's doing, and I'm not convinced yet. I am not convinced. The narrative on Twitter right now is September was going to be bullish, baby. I don't know. That's what I'm seeing. We'll have to wait and see. But, yeah. See you later.